Good evening to all of you. You have to respond. Can you hear me clearly? Samira, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, sir.
Others, what about the others?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Everybody? I believe everybody can hear me. Right. Now, let me start this presentation about engineers' role in society. So before I start my presentation, I have to ask few questions. Now, the first question is this: there's a problem with the right. Question number one: do you need a society to live in? Do you need a society to live in? Right. Let's see the answers later. Is there, if there is no society, can we live in isolation? Can people live in isolation? The second question: do we have a role to play in the society? So the three questions are: can we live in isolation? Do we need a society to live in? Do we have a role in the society? Right? So in this presentation, I'm going to answer all these questions, right? Human beings live in groups. So generally, human being or man is a social animal, said Aristotle centuries ago. Social animal, not isolated animal, social animal, right? So what do you mean by social animal? Animal. They are living in groups. They cannot live in isolation. Man needs company of his fellow human beings to share his joy and sorrow. So we discuss, we talk, we share our feelings. For that, we need people around us, right? That is the general trend. Everywhere it's same. Any country, everywhere, when you talk of human beings, is the scenario. So society, we are talking about our role in society. So before coming to that, of course, I had to describe what society is. The term society is most fundamental to sociology. So it is derived from Latin word socius, the meaning companionship and friendship. Companion, to need association, and friendship, friends. So we are dealing with companions and friends, right? Companionship means sociability. It indicates that man always lives in the company of other people. So basically, society is important for everybody. We can't live in isolation. Man needs society for his living, working, and enjoying life. So now you can see from this statement, we need a society to share our feelings. So we can't live in isolation. So that is why society is important for all kind of human beings. So let's see the definition. Society is defined as a group of people who share a common culture, occupy a particular territorial area, and feel themselves to constitute a unified and distinct entity. It is the mutual interaction and interrelations of individuals and groups. Society has become an essential condition for human life to continue. So we all are living in a society. So when you consider yourself, the associations you have in your society, right? So let's look at in a different angle. The community of people or varied collection of individuals living in a particular country or region and having shared law, culture, customs, relationships, mutual interest, shared institutions. So that is another definition for society. Now the question comes how it is related to or relevant to engineers. We engineers deal with science and technology. Sociological subjects not relevant or not applicable. Let's see. In our education system, even in the university, engineering education, sociology is not taught, not trained in sociology. So do engineers lack in knowledge of humanities, culture, sociology? So just think about it, right? Do we have these qualities, this knowledge? So what is lagging? Training in humanities, training in culture, training in sociology. So we are not taught these things in the university education system. We have to learn these things on our own. We lack understanding of the nature. Engineers' role in society is not emphasized, not stressed, not explained. But it has a very big meaning, right? Why society is important to engineers? Engineers are human beings, right? They are like other people, they are human beings. We interact with people for various works. It can be private things or official things or anything, right? We interact with people for various requirements. And we are part of the society. In our environment, we are in a part of the environment, part of the society. That is why it is important. Anything happening in the society is affecting us. So forget about engineering for the time being. So we are in society. If something goes wrong in society, we are affected, right? We are affected. Now, how it is affected, I will talk later. What is the relevance of sociology in engineering? Engineers have to deal with the society, especially for those who work in the fields. Now, suppose somebody is a civil engineer working on the field, on the construction site, road construction, building construction, dam construction, any kind of construction. They are out in the field, right? So during these activities, you deal with people, you deal with the society, right? They have to understand society needs and design their work to solve problems of society. right? You are doing a road, right? It is going right in the middle of the village. People don't like it. Then you have to listen to the society. You have to listen to the people and do accordingly. So I'll tell you one example. I was the project manager for the construction of Chandrika Kumaratunga Mawata in Malabar. Now, there was a plan in 2002 to develop a IT village in Malabar. So for that, I was the project manager in the design and construction of a access road to this IT village, where you get these millennium computers and all that, right? Cynic and all that. So road was designed, road was set out on the ground. Then it was noticed that it is going over a very famous well in that village. So during the construction, people came to me and said, "Sir, this is a very old well. We have been using this well. There's a very old kumbuk tree nearby. So can you preserve this well?" That was the request from the society. So I could say, no, this is the route. I can't change this. I have a responsibility towards the society, making decisions not to harm, not to disturb their life. That is my responsibility. So what I did was I changed the route, avoiding the well. Even if you go there now, that well is still there. People are using it. So you have responsibility. You have to look at the societal needs. Why? I will come to that later. Engineers with knowledge of sociology would have knowledge of society needs. That would have been better if you had any sociology understanding, right? That would help him or her to develop successful career in engineering focus in the society. So if you cater to the societal needs, you will become a successful person, right? So engineering is a dynamic process. Every day things are changing. New developments are coming in, right? So whatever developed, it should fit into the context of this system, right? So engineers, you are very familiar with these things: designs, calculations, planning, evaluations, management, supervision, and many more things. And the question is this the life of engineers? It is more than this. What are the other things which I mentioned earlier? Environment, humanities, all sort of things, sociology. These are part of our system. Although we don't practice it, we were not taught it. That is, you have to develop that skill. Just look at this diagram. Scientific knowledge you have, societal needs you have in the society, and the common part is engineering. Requirement in research and development on societal needs. So our duty is to use engineering to cater to the society, right? Look at this diagram. I have little additional things. You have scientific knowledge, societal needs, analysis, creativity. When you combine everything, it is engineering. So I like these words: creative analysis. Creative analysis with scientific knowledge catering to societal needs through engineering gives innovative products and services. So as you know, things are developing very fast. Things are, as I said, the system is not, engineering is not static, it's dynamic process. It develops day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute, second by second. Things are developing. If you are to, if you take a smartphone, 15, maybe, how should I say, 30 years back, what is the type of hand phone we had or the mobile phone we had? Now, what is the status of current present day mobile phone? See the development. It is not one day development, it is stage development, right? In your smartphone, the whole world in your palm. You can access anything, right? So that is development. That is innovative products, innovative services. I'll show you some of the videos. Now let's look at this diagram. Good old days. This was the scenario. Aircraft, no television, then land transport, road, bridges, communication, and some computing, computers or computing or whatever, right? Now, what is the status today? It's completely different. What is the reason? Engineering advancement. All these advancements are the products of engineers. They are products of engineers. So that is why, who are using these products? That is the second question, right? Now let's see the development in engineering. Whatever. See this video.
No, intensity is not an illusion. It's reality. You can trigger the parking process from the outside on your smartphone. Thanks to Hug for You remote. The Leo makes innovation.
Did you see the video? I need response, Samira. Hello.
No, no, sir. We didn't see.
You didn't see the video.
Yes.
You can hear me, right?
Yes. Yes.
Something wrong here, I guess. Can you see this screen? Parking.mp4.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So when I click this, you can't see this?
No, sir.
Do you hear the music?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, we can hear the music.
Can you see now?
No, sir. We can hear the music, but there was an empty screen. The screen was empty, but we can hear the music only.
You can't see the video.
No, sir.
Right. What is this then? It's not this. Hmm. Can you see now?
Yes, sir. Then now
sir.
the video is available.
No, it just has seen is not an illusion, it's reality. You can trigger the parking process from the outside on your smartphone, thanks to Hug for You remote.
Right. That was advancement in technology, right? So it is coming up, right? It is already there in some parts of the world, but it is coming up, right? So who developed this system? Engineers, right? Dictionary meaning of following words. Science, the systematic study of structures and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation and experiment. In simple terms, organized body of knowledge. What is technology? The application of scientific knowledge for practical purposes, knowledge concerned with applied science. So, science and technology is.
Excuse me, sir. The slide cannot be changed, sir.
Sorry?
The next slide cannot be changed.
Slides are not moving.
No, yes.
What do you see now?
Auto parking. The slide.
All right. What is this? Wait. Can you see this now? Defining engineering?
No, sir. Still is auto parking. But we cannot be seeing the full screen. We can see only a presentations like a PowerPoint, not a full
Can't see
screen.
the PowerPoint presentation now.
We can see the PowerPoint, but as the PowerPoint view, not the full screen view.
Now,
Still no. Right, that's fine. So that's fine. We can able to see that definitions.
Wait, I'll get it to the full screen. What about now?
No, still it's in a PowerPoint view, sir, not a full screen view. But that's fine, sir. We can see the definition and the letters. That's fine. We can go for the studies.
What about others? But I get it on the full screen.
In Zoom class. We are this viewing like a PowerPoint, not a full screen. I'm not whether they are others are the full screen or not.
What about others?
No, it's not full screen, sir.
Not full screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, I'll get it.
I also not full screen, but doesn't matter. We can see that.
Earlier it was okay, right? Earlier,
Earlier it was okay, sir.
Sir, no issues, sir. We can go by the PowerPoint view. That's fine.
so let me try again. Now, can you see the full screen?
No, sir. Still
No,
it's in a
sir.
PowerPoint view. But that's fine, sir. We can go by the PowerPoint view. That's fine. Okay, we are.
But you
okay for-
see it in a small frame, isn't it?
No. We can able to see the letters and definitions and the other things. That's fine. We can go by this way.
What about now?
Now it's okay, sir.
All right. Okay.
It's on
Now
a
it's
full
okay,
screen.
sir.
Okay. Sorry for that interruption. So let's see the defining engineering. What is the definition? There are so many definitions. We'll look at some of the definitions. Scientist discovers that which exists. Engineer creates that which never was. It's a creation, right? Scientists deal with what is there, but the engineers create things, right? Engineer is a professional practitioner of engineering, applying scientific knowledge, mathematics, and develop solutions for technical problems. Engineers design material structures, systems while considering the limitation imposed by practicality, safety, and cost. Now you see the development, right? You see the difference, the engineering applications and otherwise, right? Engineering is application of science to the common purpose of life. So engineering is getting into the lives now. Systems, environment, everything like, right? Engineering is the art of directing the great sources of power in nature for the use and convenience of mankind. So I'm coming to a point that why engineering is important in social aspect, right? Application of engineering in societal needs. Engineering is the art of organizing and directing men and controlling the forces and materials for the benefit of the human race. So the products are for the use of the human beings. That is the point. We do things, we develop things, we develop systems, facilities for the society. So some of the explanations. Engineering is a profession in which the knowledge of mathematical and natural science gained by study, experience, practice is applied with judgment to develop ways to utilize the materials and forces of nature economically for the benefit of mankind. So there are a lot of definitions given, a lot of explanation given in this regard, right? So benefit of mankind, that is the point, that is the word, that is the, I should say, that is the main objective, benefit to the mankind. Herbert Hoover, US mining engineer and 31st president of US, said this. You can read this. So it says, then it brings jobs and home to men. Then it elevates the standard of living and adds to the comfort of life. That is the engineer's high privilege, right? We are doing everything to uplift the society needs, the facilities, right? So we have been listening for nearly 35 minutes. So I want to give you a brain teaser. I need the answers from you, right? Brain teaser is a what you call, how do you call it? It's a break. It's a kind of break or discontinuity of the lecture, and I'm taking your attention to something else and coming back to the lecture again, right? So you all are good at the mathematics, right? My first question. There's a paper, 0.3 millimeters thick. If you fold it once, what is the height? Fold the paper twice, what will be the height? Fold the paper 25 times, what will be the height? Can anybody tell me answer to the third question? Fold the paper 25 times, what will be its height? 25 times. Anybody? Just give it a try. Paper thickness is 0.3 millimeters, right? When you fold it 25 times, No answers. Okay, there's a equation. 25 volts, 10 kilometers, right? 40 volts up to the moon. 50 volts beyond sun. You can't imagine, right? That's the equation. This is the equation. T is the thickness of the paper into 2 to the power number of times you fold it, right? So you can't just imagine. I mean, you can get to the moon with 40 volts, right? You can't just imagine, right? Okay. Who is an engineer? Engineers can be mathematicians, scientists, generalists, managers, technologists, magicians, not magicians. Magicians are making things that will disappear in a while, right? But engineers don't do that, right? Chartered engineer, you are sitting for the B paper and later on you are sitting for the A paper, then going through a period of training and you come back and face the viva and get your professional qualification, right? After 4 years. Chartered engineers are characterized by their ability to develop appropriate solutions to engineering problems using new or existing technology through innovation, creativity, and change. Develop new things, create new things, and make it a change, right? Fundamentals in engineering for the betterment of the society. With your knowledge or without your knowledge, you are doing these things. Investigation, planning and design, construction, manufacturing, operation, maintenance, continual improvement, research and development. We are doing this. In engineering, these are parts, right? So engineering is all around us. So people often take it for granted like air and water, but it is not so, right? Ask yourself, what do I touch? It is engineered. You have a computer, you have a smartphone, you have a vehicle, you have amenities in the house, the door, the light switches, everything is engineered. So these are developed by engineers and used by the people. An art, approximation, measurement, estimation, forecast and projection, modeling and simulation. Engineering is that. With your knowledge or without your knowledge, you are doing all these things for developing better facilities, services, products, all that. Communication, technical report writing, and presentation. That is engineering. Finance, innovations. It's a creative process. So you just think about the things around you. Just you name just one item where engineering is not involved. Everywhere it is engineering. Look at this picture. This is a still picture. This is not a video. Some engineering is involved. Look at this picture. So what engineers do? Solve the problems by applying knowledge, optimize design to minimize cost and enhance efficiency, predict the problems and find solution beforehand, imagine and think new and creative way of doing things. So all what we do we create, we generate new things, new facilities for the use of the society or the people. That is why engineering is important for the society. So engineers have a say, big role to play in the society because what they produce or the products are used by the people. So you have very massive responsibility towards the society because the products developed by engineers are used by the society, right? Whether it is civil engineering, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, just think about electronics or whatever you produce, whatever you design, whatever you make will be used by the people. Civil engineers making roads, buildings. For who? Electrical engineers are making electrical gadgets, various kind of things. Electronic engineers are developing various gadgets. For who? People, society, mankind, right? That is the point I want to stress. Engineers are part of the society, and also engineers develop things for the use of the society, and you can't just develop something and forget it. It should be safe. First of it, I mentioned various things in the previous slides. So like that, right? So engineers are in different fields: manager, politician, salesman, entrepreneur, lawyer, expert, academic, various fields, right? So whatever your position, you have to play the role of an engineer, right? Whether it is a lawyer, you are an engineer, lawyer, you are practicing law, but your basic role should be engineering role, right? So engineers can't just do things and forget it, right? As I said, it is more than calculations, planning and supervision. Sometimes it play a role which on first impression are not linked to their professional training. The training received as an engineer is a part of the reasons which an engineer can display his versatility and creativity. So by showing your ability, by showing your creation, you can become a notable, brilliant, I should say, personality. We live in a complex global intercultural world with a lot of problems. You see, even today we face a lot of problems. It is compulsory that engineers should amplify the horizon of their specialized technical knowledge in the field of development within the norms and principles of ethics. So when you develop something, when you create something which are going to be used by the people, should be within the norms, within the principles of ethics. Why? The reason is this. I have listed down the responsibilities of engineers when you are working in the industry. You have to ensure these things, right? Because you have a social responsibility. Ensure the safety and interests ahead of all other consideration for well-being of the public. These are rules, right? Some kind of rules, right? You can't do anything damaging to the human beings, mankind. Ensure that society's funds and resources concerning technology are well used. These are your responsibilities, right? Because you are doing developments. These developments are funded by the, say, the government, or the money paid by the people of this country as taxes. So you can't waste money, right? Concerned about the impact of engineering projects on environment and society. So you can't do anything you want and destroy the environment and society. So you have to preserve that environment. Refusing to work on a particular project or for a particular company violating above. So you must raise your voice when something's happening in a wrong, or something is going in the wrong direction. You must have guts to say, I don't want to work in this project if the things are going like that, right? So these are the responsibilities of engineers, right? So in my career, of course, I have refused, but there are repercussions. So if you look for repercussions and, just keep your mouth shut, it's not going to work for you, right? You have responsibility. Speaking out publicly against improper projects, you have the right. You don't work for such projects. If you see something happening wrong, you have to raise your voice. Expose illegal or wrongdoings. Professional society's obligation to provide protection for such people. So if you raise your voice, if something is happening to you, professional body should look after them. It is the duty. Contributing one's services to worthy non-profit groups and projects. Contributing one's services to worthy non-profit groups and projects. So it is your duty. Commitment to educate future engineers about their social responsibility. Senior engineers, even the junior engineers, if you have juniors, further juniors under you, you have to educate them. Voluntarily educating the public about important consequences of various technological and scientific developments. We don't do this, but you have to. You have a right to educate the public, at least in your vicinity, in your area, about the projects, about the various things happening. These will bring recognition to the profession. Your recognition in society. Your recognition in society. So there are a few arguments about engineers, lawyers, and doctors. Now, I want to just show it here. Professionals have social responsibility, by engineers. Engineering is not a profession like medicine and law. So it does not have the same social responsibility. There's a school of thought like that, but it is not so. Right? Engineering is not given the same privileges as other professionals. So there is no social obligation that promotes engineers' social responsibility. It is not so, right? Engineers do have responsibilities in the society like other professions. Engineering is a value-free enterprise that deals only in the objects and facts. No. Objects and facts. These objects are used by people, right? The nature of engineering manager relations in large organizations. Engineer manager. The engineer manager relations in large organization. Nature of engineer manager relation in large organization. What does it mean? So when you go higher up, you lose the society involvement, right? You get yourself isolated kind of thing. So you should not get into that scenario, right? Engineering code of ethics. You would have listened to the code of ethics lecture also. I want to stress on social requirement given in these codes. Engineers shall hold paramount the safety, health, and welfare of public and shall strive to comply with the principles of sustainable development in the performance of their professional duties. This AAC code ethics. Software engineering code of ethics, it says approve software only if they have well-founded belief that it is safe, meets specification, passes appropriate test, and does not diminish quality of life, diminish privacy, and harm the environment. Right? So now you can see various things are happening violating this. Right? So it is not proper, right? IEEE Code of Ethics for Engineers, it says, engineers shall, in fulfilling their responsibilities to the community, protect the safety, health, and welfare of the public and speak out against abuse in these areas affecting the public interest. So everywhere, in every code, in every obligation, it is very well said that engineers cannot violate the rules and regulations and affect the interests of the people. Right? Contribute professional advice as appropriate to civic, charitable, or other non-profit organizations. Everywhere it says you have responsibility, you have to support the human being even without being paid. I'm not asking you to do social service without any payment. You have a job, you have some earnings, but still there are instances where you have to render your services even sometimes without payment, right? That is the role of engineering. I'll come to the examples. I have a lot of examples down there, right? Seek to extend public knowledge and appreciation of the engineering profession and its achievements. By doing so, you are recognized. Why engineers don't have the recognition in the society is because of their not involvement in the social needs very much, right? So these one of the definitions, engineers Australia, New Zealand. Right. Why engineers have the responsibility of interaction of technology and society? Because engineers are the ones who create and implement the technology. Engineers do projects, engineers do create facilities used for the benefit of the people. Should be responsible for their own actions and creations because of the impact of their work on society and people. Now it is very clear. People have the responsibility, rather the engineers have the responsibility for what they are doing for the benefit of the people. Engineers are doing everything for the benefit of the people, right? You just name anything, it is not used by people. Any project, any facility, any service. So that is why the things, follow the ethics, standards, requirements, safety, cost, all that come into the picture. Now the technology is so developed. The present day technologies, you cannot imagine what is the kind of development that has taken place few years back compared to the system or the facilities we had few years back. Now compare, right? So these are some of the areas where things are developing very fast, and still it is developing, continuously developing, right? This is human creativity. Behind all this, you have engineers, right? Engineers are accountable. Capacity and development means power. So you have some capacity, you have some power to develop certain things, then you have power. When you have knowledge, it is power. With power comes responsibility. All the engineers, whether you are junior or senior, whatever, you have responsibility. Knowledge implies responsibility. Then obligations of the engineer must be of same degree with the level of his knowledge and power. With responsibility comes obligation and accountability. You are accountable. You can't just ignore it. So what are the achievements in engineering? There are so many areas that got developed very fast. So it is still developing. Even if you see construction to destruction. Destruction is happening in Russia and Ukraine, that area, a lot of destruction. So what are the gadgets and equipments they are using? All engineered products, right? So construction to destruction, construction to destruction, you have engineering inputs, right? Training, research and development is one of the most important areas in any field, right? So what are the involvements engineers do in their engineering fields? Infrastructure, power and energy, environment, poverty alleviation. So all these areas are connected with engineering, right? I will show you the photographs, right? Poverty alleviation, food production, natural disasters, research and development, education and training, health sector, discovery, recovery. There's a message chat here. Audio volume is bit slow. Can you hear me? Hello? Anybody respond?
Yes, sir. Now it's okay.
We can hear you.
All right. Okay. I will increase the volume. Now let's see some of the images I have collected for you. Infrastructure developments. In all these developments, there's massive engineering input, right? Infrastructure. Power and energy. You know all these things. You may be working in these projects, right? All engineering inputs are there. Environment protection. You have a role, right? Pollution, environmental pollution should be stopped or eradicated and preserve the environment. Poverty. You have a role. Poverty alleviation. I want to show this picture. This is a picture taken by Kevin Carter in 1993, and it won the Pulitzer Award. This vulture, this bird, it's called vulture, is following this child until this girl, she dies to eat. It's a very pathetic situation in Africa. Kevin Carter took this picture and won the prize, and he committed suicide. Nobody knows why he committed suicide. Food production, engineering is involved, right? I don't have to explain. Farm mechanization, all kind of products that are being used to develop food or produce food. How do you like this? Natural disasters. You have to eliminate. Take precautions. All these things have engineering solutions, right? That is why I am showing these things to you. Research and development. So one of the very important areas, research and development in engineering. That will take you forward for the development of new products and services, right? Education and training. So one of the very important areas, training. After passing out with a degree, engineering degree, you are undergoing training. You are coming across new things, new learnings. So you are learning throughout your career. So it is a learning process. Until we die, we learn, right? I'm still learning. I know very little about engineering. I want to learn, I'm learning. Likewise, everybody is learning till they die. Health sector, massive engineering input. As you know, I don't have to tell you. When you look at these images, these are all engineering developments, right? Can be electrical, electronic, mechanical, mechatronics. So sometimes civil. All inputs are there. Chemical engineering, right? So that is why I said, when you make these things, it should not harm people, right? It should be safe. Discovery. I want to just show you these two pictures here. this is a rotating tower, right? These floors are rotating in Dubai, right? So this is a rotating tower. And this is a very famous building in Dubai again. I think the name is Al Arab Dubai, something like that. I can't remember exactly. The thing is, this is a structural fabric, right? This is not a rigid wall. This is structural fabric. This is manufactured in Sri Lanka. The company in Biagama, they export these structural fabrics to various parts of the world. So they be used in Middle East, Australia, India, all sort of places, right? Discovery. Now, I want to draw your attention to this picture, right? This is Airbus 380, the largest aircraft in the world, which can carry 600 people, is a double decker. It has 2 floors. So this is the largest aircraft in the world. So it is engineering creation, right? Recovery. What I have shown here is the destruction caused by tsunami in 2004. Is the damage done happened to the railway line, southern railway line, and the houses. It was on Christmas Day, I guess. 2 days after the disaster, I went to see this place. So I took these photographs. I continuously visited these places, these immediately after the damage, these things. And these 2 pictures, of course, after some time, recovery process being underway at this time, right? So as engineers, you have a role here. You can't say this is not my work, this is somebody else's work. You can't say like that. Wherever applicable, you must come forward and help. Challenges of the next generation for engineers. Now, these are the challenges. Different energy scenario. Secure cyberspace, green technology, ecosystem balance, water availability, energy efficiency, global warming, waste management. These are the challenges engineers are facing with in the future. So we'll have to find solutions to these. Nobody else can find solutions. So it is, solution is engineering. So it is stressed that engineers' contribution at the primary decision-making process is vital, very vital. Because, and all that, not only just watch and, nod your head. You have to follow. I showed you 12 points earlier. You have to follow that. You have to practice that. You have to raise your voice when things are not going in the right direction. Right? It is your responsibility. Creativeness. Engineering is basically a creative process, right? As I told you earlier also. Positive thinking makes way for creativity. So you take it positively. You can do it. I can do it. We will do it. Think in different dimensions. You have to think in different dimensions, different direction. Wide horizon. So some maybe beyond horizon. So engineers should think out of the box. So I want to give two examples locally and from one of our neighboring countries, the creative personalities. So you would have seen these pictures before. Dr. A.N.S. Pulisinger, one of the greatest engineers Sri Lanka has produced, right? I want to draw your attention to this picture down here. This one. Dr. Pulisinger is a musician. He plays tabla and he is a good flutist. What is the relevance of music in this engineering? I'll come to that later. This is Abdul Kalam. He's a Veena player. In 1998, with Soma Raju, cardiologist, they developed Kalam Raju stent, which is used for heart operation. He's a very creative person, right? Why? And look at this. Now, these children are carrying water on the head, right? So heavy water, heavy cans of water on the head. So it creates a lot of stress in the head, right? This is happening in our country also in rural areas. Can't you give an engineering solution to this? Can. There are applications. Solution is this. Water in the rolling drum. It's called Q drum. Although it is not so popular in our country, but it is widely used in some of the countries, basically African countries. Right? You don't have to carry it on the head. You can carry more water. It's a drum. Right? Right in the center, you have a hole. You can put a rope and, pull it, roll it. Right? That is engineering. Now, I want to show you some of my creations. I'm a civil engineer. My specialty is in the highway engineering. I was a bridge designer some time back. When I was at a junior level, of course, I have to tell you. Now, what I'm showing you is a bridge abutment. Bridge abutment is a structure that supports the beams or bridge deck, you call it. Definition of bridge is a structure constructed to cross, go over an obstacle or go over a valley or go over a river or stream or whatever it is, right? Then you have in a bridge, you have two supports at the two ends. These are called abutments. Intermediate supports are called piers. Starting from the abutment up to the next abutment on the other bank. In between, if you have piers, you lay the deck from abutment to the pier to the pier, then to the next pier and to the next abutment. Now, abutments are basically like this. The wall, you have a facility here to place the beams. What I developed is a simple structure without so much of complications. This beam is sitting on these two columns. This is a cost-effective solution I proposed, and I did the design, and it was implemented. It is there in Victoria Randanigala Road, where the road design was done by me as well, right? I will show you some of the pictures. I didn't want to do the conventional way of doing. I would have done this, but I want to do something new, creative. So this is the real picture. This is the bridge. So this is the abutment on this side. These are called piers. The next abutment is on this side, right? This is the completed bridge after some years, right? Still standing strong. If you happen to go on, that is called Mahavili Rajamavata from Victoria Powerhouse up to Randhanigal. You can see these. Now I quoted two examples, genius, Dr. Kul Singh and Abdul Kalami. They are good musicians. What is the reason I brought up that kind of thing there? It is that, you have a left brain and right brain, right? You learn your mathematics, your science, or anything in the university that deals with the left brain, right? This is the left brain. You can see all your learnings, arguments, mathematics, everything is on the left brain. What is there in the right brain? Your hobbies, your entertainment stuff, if you are a music lover, all that is on the left brain, right brain. But the funniest thing is the creativity is on the right brain, not on the left brain. So if you want to be a creative person, develop the right brain. You have developed your left brain, all right. Engineers have developed their left brain. You have to develop your right brain, right? Then you will become a creative person. That is why I said Dr. Kulisinghe, one of the greatest engineers Sri Lanka has produced, is a very creative person, right? Now, some of the funny pictures I want to show you about creativity. You can do a lot of things. I mean, even at home. Creative. Now, the next creative picture is not so funny, but there's something in it, right? When you are making a cake, suddenly your beater broke. This can be a creative solution, right? Now, bottle wall, this is another creation. These houses are made with plastic mega bottles, right? And clay. So you see the usage of now, otherwise you throw away these bottles, but they have taken a lot of efforts and, developed these things. And we did a similar model at Techno exhibition in 2012. You can see the stall here. We did this with the help of Civil Engineer Sectional Committee. You can see this is one of the officers, one of the members from the Civil Engineer Sectional Committee, lady who took the responsibility of making this. And you can see here our President-elect, Dr. Luxury, is watching this, right? Here, you can take this mouse. Here, this Dr. Luxury, right? A lot of people came and admired this bottle wall, right? Made out of clay. The tire wall is another thing, another one. These are there in Sri Lankan construction industry. So there you can use these base tires and, put up a retaining wall. I want to show you this washing machine developed by an Indian girl. Don't know it will work. Can you see this? Can you? I believe you can see this, right?
Yes, sir, we
Hello?
can see.
Right. This is a creation by this girl. I wonder you got the. This is a. This could be very useful, right? These days because of we have electricity problem. This is a washing machine, manual washing machine, and in the same time you can get some cycling exercise also, right? Okay. This is a creation. This is a creativity, right? Okay. We will go back to. Now, some of the creative pictures I want to show you. Right. Now, the picture over here, these are all paintings, right? This is a painting, this is some creative picture, and some, again, some kind of painting here. And I want to ask from you how to take a picture like this, like the wine glasses. These wine glasses, right? Can you take a picture, photo like this? How to take it like this? Till the table, take the picture, right? And turn it, okay? Now, engineers learn a lot of things from the nature, right? I want to show you these videos also. I wonder whether you can. Mark Brunner is a gentleman who is here. One day he was walking on the port. He saw this piece of wood with holes. These holes were drilled by a creature, small fellow. He's drilling through the timber
Excuse me, sir.
like a drill
Nothing could.
machine.
We can't.
Excuse me, sir. Nothing could be able to see it.
Then there was a paste right around the hole. So there won't be any dust falling into the hole. That was the technology used by the creature, right?
Excuse
Mark
me, sir.
Brunel- Sorry,
We couldn't able to see the visual.
you didn't see the picture of the
Yeah,
video.
no, sir. No. From the beginning, we couldn't able to see the visual.
Shall I show it again then? Can you see now?
No, sir.
No.
Can you see?
No, sir.
No.
Can you see or not?
No, sir. The audio is available, but there is no video.
Did you see the video?
No, sir. Still no. We can able to hear the audio only. There is no video. There was a black screen here.
Wait, then I'll... Can you see now?
Yes, sir. We can see the window.
It is not very clear. This person is walking along the fort and he saw a piece of wood with holes like this. Then he inspected the holes. Then he noticed there's a creature drilling these holes. Now, this is how we drink it, right? And the funniest part is when he inspect the hole, he saw some paste applied on the outer periphery of the hole. So that will support the sides of the hole and nothing will fall into the hole. So this is the concept studied there by Brunel. Then he developed the tunnel boring machine. So this is the concept, right? You can look at this video and see is similar concept. So it is drilling through the rock. Then taking the rock particles out. Right? Then you support the tunnel wall or tunnel sides with some concrete segments. So nothing will fall into the tunnel. So this is the mechanism. So the concept was taken from that creature and Brunel developed this concept of tunnel boring machine concept. So in Sri Lanka, in Umawaya project, that is where we use tunnel boring machine for the first time, right?
பொண்ணு பேர் தமிழலியா லக்கி தமிழலியா
කැඩෙයෝක ඒ තාත්තා
Asanti, you have to mute your mic. So that is how it goes, right? So tunnel boring machine technique is this. So a lot of engineering examples are there in the environment. We have to learn certain things from the environment and develop, right? Okay. We will close this. Engineers should be good communicators. So you have to develop your communication skills. You have to be a good communicator because you have to communicate with various, because when you are dealing with the society, of course, we have to deal with, you have to talk to various people in various languages, right? So you have to talk to the people in their language. You may be dealing with low level person to highest level person. So engineer should be able to communicate with all categories, right? Now, these are another examples, engineering disasters in China. So you have to use your basic engineering principles, right? Now there was a building like this.
Excuse me, Mr. The slides are not moving here.
What do you see?
No, the engineering should be the good communicators. That slide is the visible slide.
Wait. Can you see now?
Yeah, we are still in that same slide.
Communication gap slide, can you see?
Yeah, we can see that slide.
This one, the building collapse?
No, sir. That's why I told you that the slide was stuck on there.
What do you see now?
So now we can see the PowerPoint screen. The last slide was engineering should be the good communicators. That communication gap, that's a slide.
Why it is not moving?
Yeah, now it's moving.
Something wrong with my laptop, I guess. Can you see now?
Yes, sir. Now we can see.
The building collapse you can see?
No, not now. There was a black screen. No.
Communication gap, can you see?
No. We now we couldn't able to see anything. There was a black screen.
Black screen.
Some technical problem or something else. Previously, we saw that buildings collapse slides, but now we couldn't.
What can you see now?
Now
Communication
we
gap?
can. Yeah. Now this last was the communication gap.
Right. Then the collapsed building?
Yes, sir. Okay, sure. Thank you.
Right.
Now
Okay.
we can see.
Now this building collapsed in China some time back. Now I want to just show how that happened, right? Now you can see the first three pictures. The first one is building is standing strong, but there was a excavation next to the building, and the excavated material was put on this side. There was a rain, right? There was a rain. Then this got wet and created additional pressure to the soil. Then there was a lateral pressure from this side that made the building to collapse, right? This is the reason. So when you are practicing, what I want to show you is that to get to some point, when you are practicing your engineering in the field, you have to use your engineering knowledge, right? Otherwise, it will be a disaster. Similar thing can happen here also, but still analyze and apply your knowledge and get to the final decision after that, right? If you do what you have done, you will get what you have. Do things differently to have different outcome. Young engineers need to think differently. So I have been telling this creativity, new kind of thinking, wider horizon, beyond horizon, all that for you to develop your skills, right? Now, these are the kind of things, kind of projects we generally don't think out of the box. You go for general conventional things, but there are things like this we can think of. Again, a brain teaser. Is this equation correct? This equation is not correct. Correct the equation with one movement. Can anybody answer? There's a point in it. There is a point I want to stress here. The answer is rotate this. Right? So the point I want to raise here is look at a point, look at a problem from different angles. Just don't look from one side, look from different sides. Then you will see the solution from any one of the sides, right? That is the point I want to raise here. Mahatma Gandhi says, there are two types of people in this world. One category works hard, other category get credit from others' work. My father advised me to be in the first category because there is no fight among the working category. Fight is within the category who does not work and get the credit. So these are the points I want to present here. politicians are with the society. Because a majority of the projects are decided by the politicians, not by the engineers. Engineers really deal with the society. There's a very massive lapse. Engineers are reluctant to work with politicians. You have to strike a balance. Need a change. You have to earn your position. Now I mentioned 12 points at the middle of the presentation. You have to follow that also. You don't have to, now I have worked with politicians, but when things are wrong, I have explained to them why it is wrong and how it should be corrected. So you must have guts to do that. Otherwise, you are doing what others are saying. Use your knowledge, use your brain to give solutions to engineering problems. I have a question to you. How many in your neighborhood know that you are an engineer? If you are a social worker, if you are helping the society, people generally know. But engineers are not known. How many times you have given engineering advice to others? Maybe in your area, in your workplace, with your relatives. So these are the areas we have to develop. Otherwise, what we have to do is you have to put a board in front of your house, or you have to wear a t-shirt with these labels. I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer. Put a board in front of your house. But others, lawyers, doctors, you go to the junction and ask, where is this lawyer? Everybody knows. You go down this lane, the 7th house on the right. That is the lawyer's house. Where is this doctor? They know. People know. They are working with the society. Their job is with the society. But engineers' job is also with the society, but we have very poor relationship with the society. That is why we are not known by the people. How many in your organization know that you are an engineer? They know accountant, finance manager, administrative officer more than you. Why? So they react to the people. They have work, they have association with the people, or otherwise people will have to go to them for various things. But we engineers deal with our technical staff. Only technical people will know about us, right? If ordinary person wants to buy a solar system, from whom he gets advice? Engineer or shop owner. So whenever you see opportunity, you have to rise and help, right? Even out in the street, if somebody is asking something, you have to help, right? The next question is, what is the social activity you got involved in the last 3 months? Have you done any social activity or not? Think about this. You may be providing indirect service, but direct service to society bring you recognition. Then you are known by the people, known by the society. In how many projects engineers are recognized at the opening ceremonies? Why? One thing, our people are reluctant. They don't want to work with, as I said, the politicians. But system is will believe that system will change in the future, but still in the past, we don't get ourselves exposed to society. That is the basic reason. You have to note these things also. When you go for a meeting, lecture, where do you sit, front or back? How many meetings, lectures you have opened your mouth to speak? When speaker call somebody from the audience, how many times you have come forward? Sometimes something happens on the street, have you come forward for any assistance? So just think about it. I don't want to elaborate, I don't want to discuss anything detail on this. Just think about this. These will bring some kind of recognition to your profession, right? What are the ISL activities you have got involved in last 6 months? So these are the things you have to get involved in, the expose to various things that will bring you some kind of recognition. Contribute to others' work, share your knowledge with others, make the society feel that you are wanted. Society is not going to invite you for any kind of assistance. You have to voluntarily go and help them. That will bring recognition to your profession. Abdul Kalam says, I am not a handsome guy, but I can give my hands to someone who needs help. Beauty is in heart, not in face. Helping hand. Who's going to invite you for social work? No one. Get involved in social activities on your own. Help others. We are part of the society. We have expert knowledge on so many things. Help the society with that. Now, ISL has a lot of activities lined up for the members. Sectional committees are there. There are 7 sectional committees. Depending on your field, you can take part in various activities. Public and memorial lectures. You get to know people and you network with senior engineers, junior engineers, and you are known. You become known, right? Educational programs, technical and field visits, get involved in these things so that you will break your shackles and come forward and work with society. Competitions, engineering excellence award. If you are excellent in some kind of engineering work, you can come forward and apply for these. Engineering excellence award, techno exhibition. Building clinic, New Year and Christmas festivals. Building clinic is a concept developed by me when I was the chairman Civil Engineering Sectional Committee some years back. This service is basically to help general public who are building their houses. So we first introduced a techno exhibition, and with the help of some of the sponsors, we took this concept to provinces. We went to all parts of the country and held this kind of clinics and helped people. Then only most of the people came to know that there's an organization called IES, right? So it is voluntary works, right? We spend a lot of time on this, but nobody paid us a cent. We never expected either, right? You voluntarily, you render your services. It was very popular program. People came from far distance to take advice. So it is very interesting. Then there's another one. we have music engineers group here at IESL to develop the musical skills of members. You can take part in many of these activities, right? When the situation improves. Lectures organized by various sectional committees. Then you have techno exhibition, building clinic and techno exhibition. All these services are free. You can see the experts, engineering experts from various fields like these gave advice. These are experts. This Mr. Vishwalingam, who came from Jaffna to help these people, right, to Colombo. So various engineers from various organizations, Water Board, SCC, STNCC, RDA, Electricity Board. Then he took it to provinces, right, and help people. So we had a seminar room at Techno. We conducted lectures for the general public. It was very successful. The Engineering Excellence Award I mentioned earlier. Some of the recipients. I also one of the recipients. It is me here in this picture. New Year festivals we organize. Of course, these days, last few years, of course, because of this pandemic situation, we couldn't organize, but it is a very popular event. Then Christmas celebrations. So we had music engineers programs on TV also. In ITN, we had 2 programs. Do we smile, engineers? Smile is a very powerful tool, right? So think about these things, and if you are not doing these things, so just try to practice, right? Laughing is a therapy. You burn calories. Laughing is good for relationships. Laughter is good for your brain. It improves the immunity and improves sleep. You need sleep for good health. Your tolerance for pain increases. Your bearability increases. During laughing, you never get any ill feeling. When you are happy, only you can laugh, right? It is free. Doctor told an engineer to walk on grass. Engineers gave engineering solutions. This is the engineering solution. Now, these are some of the civil engineering blunders, I should say, right? So you have to think before doing anything. This will bring disrepute to engineering. Now, we are coming close to the end of the presentation. And I want to ask these questions from you. How many of you are satisfied with the job you do? If not, if you say, I am not satisfied, what is the reason? Is it because of your salary, the work you are given, recognition, appreciation, self-satisfaction, or your boss? My recommendation, neglect all these. If you don't have the self-satisfaction, that is the reason for not happy, right? Other things are minor things. Those are not so important for your career at the beginning. When you grow old, of course, you may think about other things, but at the initial stages of your career, self-satisfaction is the most important thing. So to get the satisfaction, help others, go into society, help the society. Your career development has three areas rather. Your professional work, professional life, your personal work or personal life, and the social life. So if you have to be satisfied, if you have to be a successful person in your life, you have to be successful in all three lives: professional, personal, social. Social is basically 1/3 of your satisfaction. So that is why I said engineers should engage in social work. All people should engage in social work, but engineers have more responsibility than others because you are trained to provide services to the society, right? What is the secret of success? Right decisions. How do you make right decisions? Experience. How do you get experience? Wrong decisions. It doesn't mean, what I want to tell you is when you make a wrong decision, you learn more than you making a right decision. Falling down is not defeat. Defeat is when you refuse to get up. Develop positive mindset. If one can do it, you must do it, or I should think I can do it. If no one can do it, I must do it. Never think this way. If one can do it, let him do it. If no one can do it, how can I do it? These negative attitudes. The first two are positive attitudes. Now, in the society, if you look at the news, if you look at if you watch the TV news, listen to the radio, you hear so many complaints from the society. The people, they complain about the drinking water issues, electricity supply issues, access road, bridges, facilities to get to their villages. There are so many complaints. No facilities in hospitals, roof is falling, building is not repaired for a long time, poor roads and no road to places. School building needs repairs, no transport service, no mobile signal. These days, of course, students are doing online education. So people are, students are climbing trees. They are climbing up to the water tanks to get the signal. These are issues in the society. Every day you listen to the radio or watch television, you can see at least one or two of these issues. Now my question is, what are these issues? Who are the people who should address these issues? Right? Is it the ministries, provincial authorities, divisional secretaries, Grama Sevakas? They are the public officers that I have mentioned their names. But in real terms, in real speaking, these are the responsibilities of engineering bodies, right? So if you are hearing these, if you are seeing these, if you are in this particular field, you come forward and try to address it. Bring it, at least if you can't do it yourself, you bring it to the notice of relevant authority. That is the responsibility. But we are not doing it. We are missing our duty to the society. So this is a very important area. I want you to think about this, right? These are the issues. There can be more issues than this. So think about this. So that will bring recognition to the profession. recognition to you personally, right? So that is important. Engineers, knowledge and work, you are extraordinary. You have extraordinary abilities, knowledge trained for purpose, and services to be given to the people. So you have a role to play. You have a big, very big role to play. So are we playing our role? Just think about it. There's another quote from Abdul Kalam. If you salute your duty, you need not salute anybody. But if you pollute your duty, you have to salute everybody. Be an engineer of great value to be profession, family, society. So you look after these three things, right? With same level, I should say. 3R in career life: respect for self, respect for others, responsibility for all your actions. So my final remarks are: improve your language skills, take up responsibilities, get all-round experience, do work with dedication and commitment, share your knowledge, enjoy what you do, be a chartered engineer within minimum possible time, serve the society and your country. Think positive, share knowledge, help others, develop teamwork, keep smiling. So finally, what I want to tell you, engineers have social responsibility because engineers are trained. They are given special knowledge to develop facilities, products, services, which are used by the general public, the society, and they should be, those facilities should be safe and cost effective and efficient. That is our responsibility. So you have to, you will not be invited by the society, but you have to do voluntarily, go into the society and help them. That will bring some kind of recognition to your profession and the personality to you. With that, I want to conclude this presentation and wish you success in your future endeavors. So we can have a few minutes for questions. And if you have any question, I can answer. If you have anything, you can raise now in any question. Even not from this particular topic, even outside this topic, you can ask if you have anything or if you want to get any doubt cleared. Anybody? Or if you are reluctant to talk, you can unmute and talk, or otherwise you can type in the chat box. Did you get the message I want to pass on to you? Did you get the message or not? you got the message. This is Jaya Lakshan, right? You can talk. I would like to hear your voice also. Samira, Supun, Sachit, Sachini, Ramesh, Madhubhashini. If you have any question, you can ask. I was the training manager at CCB for so many years, and I have trained a lot of engineers, and they are in very high positions now out in CCB as well as in other organizations. So I'm basically a trainer. So if you have any issue, if you have any questions, you can even ask, or you can talk to me, no problem. If you don't have any question, we can close the session now. Shall we make it a day? Okay, then thank you very much for your participation. And I believe you have gathered some knowledge out of this lecture and use that for the benefit of the people and benefit to you. Please note that to be successful, you have 3 lives. All 3 lives you have to make better, right? Or you have to be successful in all 3 lives: personal, family, professional, family, and social, right? Thank you very much. Wish you good luck and good night.